Hello everyone, and welcome to Petit piano tutorial. The first video I'd like to do, coming back, is something about memory. This principle I'll be addressing is actually so unanimous and can work for almost any instrument just because it's not specifically a piano technique, but I'm going to be demonstrating with a piano piece because that's my instrument that I can work on. So, the idea behind it is to create a kind of a balance of how many times you're looking at the score and playing something, and then how many times you're playing it by memory without looking. So you kind of go back and forth until it evens out and you can recall the visual memory of the score, what it looks like, and also the physical memory of the score, like when you're not looking. So, it's basically that you go back and forth, but what you do is you change the number of times you play it by memory after each time you look. So I call this technique the 1-1-1-2-1-3 technique. And here's just a little actual diagram of how this works. So the black numbers are how many times you're looking at the actual score and playing it. And the red numbers are how many times you're repeating it by memory. And you go from left to right here. So you play it once looking, then once by memory, then once looking, then twice by memory, then once looking, and 3 times by memory, and finally one more time looking to sort of solidify it, and then you move on to another part. And so by the time you've gone through that whole process, if you add it all up, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, you've actually played it 10 times. And about half of those were times that you're doing it by memory. And so that sort of trade back and forth really associates it right away. And what a lot of students notice is that when you have to try to memorize it right away, after just playing it 1 or 2 times, you start to pay attention more to the details of the score and the writing. And so you know exactly what you don't know about the music as soon as you try to play it from memory after trying it once. So let's say, for example, I take a 4-measure practice or block of something. I play it once and then I repeat it, and I can only remember 3 measures. Then I know the 4th measure is what I need to focus on the next time I look at the score and try it. And so I think about what it was that I wasn't thinking about in order to sort of solidify it. And then I try it by memory again, and if I forget something again, then I just go back. And so every time you go back to reading the score, you want to think about your last memory attempt. Whatever wasn't really clear, you look again and you fix that. And so the idea behind this is once you go back and forth 3 or 4 times, it sort of smooths out, and usually almost any passage can be totally memorized by the end of that process. And if it's not like totally confident, then you just do it again 2 or 3 days in a row and it'll probably be there. So I want to use a practical example of this principle, and I'm actually going to try to learn, let's just do about maybe 7 or 8 bars of this Mendelssohn Songs Without Words, Opus 19, number 1. I actually haven't played this or even sight read it or looked at it before. It's just the first one in the book. And so I wanted to do a little example of me doing this process so you could see how it actually works. And that's why I haven't worked on it before. I'm just going to basically break this down into 2 measures at a time for myself. So the first time is like a total sight read, and then I'm going to close the book, turn the page, and immediately see how much I can remember. If you don't know this piece, you can download the sheet music on imslp.org to follow along. Okay, so I'm just going to take that much, and I'm going to turn the score, no music here, and I'm going to see what I can do. so I basically got it. There was one thing I forgot, and that was a voicing of the chord in the second measure, that the right hand on beat 4 actually goes to the melody, so I did it with a crossover instead. So I would now fix that, since I noticed I did it wrong. And then in order to fix it, I'll look at the score one time. There we go. So now I think I've got it. So if I were to do this whole process, all I just did was 1, 1, 1. Then I would go 2, 1, 3, 1. But that's going to take too much time for like this whole tutorial. So I'm going to go right on to the next 2 measures, just to keep going here. And I'm going to play till, let's see, it looks like the phrase ends kind of on the 3rd beat. So I'm going to play to the 3rd beat of measure 4. Okay, so what I did is I saw that there's basically a pattern of like 3 notes going down in the melody, and then it starts from a higher note and it goes 4 notes down, and basic chords. So here, let's try this. Alright, so now I'm going to check it. And there was only one thing that I wasn't totally confident with, and that was which actual harmony it was on beat 2 of measure 4. Okay, it is an F sharp 7 chord, and that's what I thought it was, but I couldn't remember. And that goes to a B major. So what that does is I'm also, in order to memorize it right away, I'm thinking of the chords and maybe the voicings of how it's split between the hands and all of that. So it makes me really pay attention to everything that's going on and not just the notes I'm playing. So I'm going to try it one more time by memory now. There we go, it's almost there. So I think you get the idea. I'm not going to make you sit through me doing this for 20 minutes. But if you have any questions about this principle or practice idea, feel free to send me an email. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.